Metronomik was a company that I decided to form because I created Final Fantasy 15 with my team, and then after that, I wanted to challenge myself. So Tabby, the director, invited me to do VR, fishing VR, Monster of the Deep. So I finished with that. Then after that, I decided to leave and then open a new company in Bangsa South called Metronomik. So now Metronomik has a total of 20 people, and the logo is actually a metronome. So there are a few reasons why it's metronome. Number one is our game concept is we want to create games with rhythm without making it a rhythm game. Because a rhythm game, I love rhythm games. I played rhythm games since I was 15 years old, 1995. Oh, I just revealed my age, okay. So 1995, I played Beatmania 1, you know, so long time ago. And then I played music games ever since. But I know the audience for music games is very, very narrow, right? Because you need the rhythm sense to actually press the buttons. So I decided to deconstruct the music game genre and construct it into something else. So for this time, I founded the company with Daim, who was the concept artist for Street Fighter 5. So Daim and I are now directing a game called No Straight Roads. Ta-dang! So No Straight Roads is a rhythm-based action game. So the game plays a bit like Devil May Cry, Kingdom Hearts, Nier Automata, except that the world follows the music. So the world, the monster attacks and all that are linked to the music. You have to understand that relationship in order to gain advantage in your battle. However, you do not need to avoid right on the timing and all that. You don't need to attack right on the timing. You just look at the situation and then judge based on that. That's one reason. The other reason why we made it a metronome is because we also want to debunk a lot of the myth of what is required to make a game. You know, so some people say that you need to do overtime. A game that cannot take less than a year. You know, so we want to debunk that. So our working culture is based on a certain pace. For example, we don't do overtime at all. I have a bell in the office that I ring when it's 7 p.m. Okay. Also, we want to make a game every year or so. We took half a year to gather the team and to gain the chemistry and all that. But we are planning to release No Straight Roads next spring. So, which means it's like in June latest, right? Next year, 2019. So that's like 1.5 years. You know, and after that, we plan to make a game once per year. So, because I want my employees to have a list of games in their portfolio once they leave. You know? Yeah.
So which platform is it coming?
Oh, sorry. Thank you for the question. I'm very bad at PR for this. The game is for PC and PlayStation 4. We are considering Nintendo Switch. However, we haven't tested the audio synchronization on the Nintendo Switch yet. So once we confirm that, then maybe we will announce whether it's a simultaneous release or not. It's not confirmed yet.
My name is Hazman Hassan. Okay, so I co-founded Kitamen about 2 years ago. So Kitamen was born out of passions together with my co-founders. So how it started was we just want to give the opportunity to the grassroots, especially people from outside Bandar, to I think enjoy video games, experience video games, and also be into esports together because we see that the passion and the intent niat kita ni is to just bagi budak-budak main game and get themselves comfortable with video game and get into esports because we call ourselves Malaysia Esports Community, so that's where we're focusing. So it's all about starting with the grassroots, kenal game, kenal these things. So then you find your own path where to go So Kitamen started with only 3 people for 2 years, and we just grown into a 10 people teams just this year alone. Because we see that because we started as a esports dojo whereby we just focus on PlayStation 4, just people come and do mini esports tournament, especially for FIFA, especially kat Malaysia ni. FIFA PES is so huge, man, especially dekat outskirts sana kan, so huge. And then people not say don't play Dota or whatever, tapi they just live in them playing balls. Okay, so then for this year since we have the dojos because getting the database and creating the personality in terms of what they want to do. So some of the people that we've met who open up dojos and players. Basically, we serap them masuk dalam team lah. Just because we see their potential and skills on what they can basically assist us on lah. So that's why we manage, I'm quite surprised we can, run a company with 10 people, and, people say that esports company boleh, but actually there's a way and there's know-how and how you must sustain. I think it's all back to the basics juga lah. Okay, then currently what we are focusing right now is developing more on the new esports league, creating a platform for people to play online, because we see that for us to further expand into the region, especially Southeast Asia, is that we have started with our private league. Just like, for example, we have started with Pro Club FIFA lah. So it's an 11 versus 11 punya mode. So I think not many people know, but I was surprised. There was actually 32 teams that came in with more than 11 players on the team itself. And players not just from Malaysia, but they involve Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, Indonesia, Hong Kong. So we were quite surprised. Okay, those are one of the fields that we are focusing on since we have a team. So I think we just started a production, not say a huge production, but a creative and production company whereby we are trying to, because those kind of I work at department ke jabatan ke apa kan, those are basically the job opportunities that we can create. Because getting graphic designers, video editors, talent casters, commentator lah, right?
Just players lah.
Because macam esports game kan, there's a whole huge of library of titles kan. So Dota 2 there's that section saja. PUBG, FIFA, PES, apa lagi Dota 2, Mobile Legends, AOV, so many huge things kan. So we're not trying to do all, because in the scene right now there's so many people doing, which is good for the industry itself lah. So those are the, and then our forte sekarang is focusing on events, on grassroots events lah. So you don't see us do big event, but mostly people know us because we do small events. So this year long we have travelled to 13 states already, just doing mini events, introducing people. When I went to Rompin kat Pahang, 64 teams Mobile Legends, 2 days fill up. Senang.
Wow.
Not say senang lah, tapi but
It's Rompin.
Rompin is in Pahang. Right?
Cool.
It's like 1 hour and a half drive from Kuantan. Quite surprised, and people love it, because kita tengok esports kan kat KL je kan. Kesian lah dia orang luar. So that's why we focusing on that. I think because our focus is on the grassroots lah, because that's where the future generation is.
He's from Terengganu.
Yeah. I'm from Terengganu, by the way. So
nerve-wracking. No, I mean, because all this while I was in the comfort of a 5,000 man company.
5,000.
Yeah, 5,000. 3,000 in Tokyo. Yeah, and when I go overseas to E3, and all that, I just show up, and that's about it. The computers are already there, the volunteers are already there. But for Tokyo Game Show, this is the first time I actually handle my own booth. First time in my life, actually. Yeah. So we had to rent the equipment ourselves. We have to
First
take
time
care of the.
experience.
Yeah. It's really hectic. But Tokyo Game Show was really exhilarating. To be honest, because it's our first reveal, and Metronomik is like unknown to a lot of people, especially overseas, right? And especially in Tokyo. So I was expecting, that I had to play the game. and then just show the demo to other people, But eventually there was a queue, and actually people really appreciated our art and the concept as well. And I think that's how we pulled in Shuei Yoshida as well. Of course with MNEC's help as well. And I was there, my wife was there, Daim was there. We were just standing there from 10 to 5. So we just ate calorie meat, 1 bar or 2 for lunch. Yeah, that's about it. So it's very tiring, but it was really fun. And the fact that we just revealed the game for the first time, in the world to the general public, and it got nominated for 2 awards already. Yeah, thank you so much. 4Gamer and Dengeki Online, 2 of the very popular press in Japan in terms of games, right? I think it's a huge honor, and the reason why we wanted to go for Tokyo Game Show in the first place was because I know it's very risky to show a game that is half baked. I mean, it's not complete yet, but we wanted to test the concept of the game. right? Whether it works well, it sits well with gamers, and apparently it did. So I would say that the Tokyo Game Show was a huge success for us, and it's a huge motivation that we are going in the right direction. So the team is very, very pumped up right now.
So did Tabby test the game itself?
Unfortunately, no. Yeah, Tabby, as you know, around Tokyo Game Show, I'm sure he's busy like crazy. Yeah. So that's unfortunate. But we went to Luminous Productions 3 months ago to show the game. So he has actually seen the game before.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
The expectation changed after today lah, because seeing all these talents and so many things, like kalau kita dulu kan tak ada benda ni kan.
Yeah.
So I was thinking lah, macam these kids, let's say lah, they can come out in next 10 years, they come out with their own game developers. So with I think MDAT side also, kita ada Sifu kita kat sini kan, making their own games. You know what my hope is, the government, not just KPS saja lah, but KKKM, tourism, trade industries, Ministry of Trades together with KKKM, they combine together as a family to create. All I want is Kuala Lumpur Game Expo lah, showcasing all our locals punya. So I think just you have that, because esports is just gonna fill up the rooms lah. So because kalau kita buat esports expo saja, it just doesn't really inilah, because we need to showcase what are the potential in esports lah. Macam just talk simple lah, just a little tempat main game, and then you have production studio, and then how you release that to the audience. That's just very simple lah. Tapi but having game developers together kan, maybe this company just nak develop games for esports, and how they can develop the games tu nak whereby it's interconnected lah between you have stages. I don't know, this is just ideas lah. You create game A, game B, tapi it's all related. You never know, macam
collaboration.
You look at Ready Player One lah. What if that is esports lah? Kan, just those kind of. But I think it's possible lah.
It's possible, definitely. Yeah. We're heading there.
Yeah lah. Even
whether you like it or
Elon
not.
Musk pun nak pergi marah kan. So I think those are just beyond expectation. We can go to Pluto if one. Tapi in terms of government, I think for me, having their support is a big relief, and getting more people involved lah. I think if you go everywhere, people are talking about esports. Everybody is doing esports, whether it's playing as a team, event organizers, production team, creative side. I think we need those kind of movement right now to show the government that hey, we are here, and we just need a little bit of pat on the back, is it, from the government, that's all. Especially the new sports minister, YB Sadiq, has been really pushing.
Why bro?
We really thank him for that lah kan. So,
How Wan Hazmer for game development?
Right. So I think one of the reasons why I came back to Malaysia is because I feel that the infrastructure is very strong. Now we have MDEC, we have government support as well. Seriously, if you want to make a game, it is so easy nowadays, because first of all, a lot of the tools are free online. Plus, you have a government that supports you. I mean, come on, man. How many countries in the world do this? So even in Southeast Asia, Malaysia is really very strong in that regard, So we have government support, we have MDEC, we have infrastructure, we have a lot of game developers as well. Now, for me, the only problem with Malaysia is the celebration. So today, my digital maker, for me, is a really good step in the right direction, So because Tokyo, right, Japan, it's like you see people, there's this event called Comic Market, right? So many booths, around 60,000 booths, right? Spanning across 3 days. Just not even game developers, bank clerks, accountants, they all just want to open a booth and then sell their comics or something like that, or whatever game and all that. And general public actually goes to these places and buys them. So it's really for artists, by artists, that kind of celebration, right? And then when I went to Indonesia, when was it, Ray? Sorry, July, back in July. So I went to Backcraft, Game Prime, And something that really amazed me is that the business to consumer event was really, really great. It was very eye-opening for me. So for example, we have like 90% of the hall opened by Indonesians, right? 95%, if I'm not mistaken. And it spans across like phone games, PS4 games, even board games as well. And the audience that came, there were a lot of people, it was super crowded. Indonesian families, Indonesian gamers, so they are playing their own games, you know, right? So I feel that now today is more about, you know, opening up to parents, to students. I think when it's a celebration, right, then parents would, it's a whole ecosystem, right? It affects each other. So when you know that it's a celebration, then parents would support their kids. They know that game industry is an industry that I can invest in. And then after that, you can have Malaysian fans. Then that will be the next step. Malaysian gamers actually playing their own games. You know, so for example, having it at Mid Valley Exhibition Center, I don't know. You know, I don't know whether we have the money or not, but you know, you get what I mean. It's like people who didn't even intend to play Malaysian games. They'll just go there and then oh wow, there are some Malaysian games that are actually quite cool. You know, because we do have very cool games actually. It's just there's no exposure at the moment. For B2B, no problem. So a lot of people overseas, like Square Enix for example, they are very aware that Malaysians are making games. But if you ask a typical Malaysian public whether we are making games or not, the answer might be more disappointing than you think. So yeah, I think the next step is doing a lot of things like My Digital Maker. You know, just making sure that it is a celebration by Malaysian gamers for Malaysian gamers within the Malaysian game development. So we're making a PC and PS4 game, maybe Nintendo Switch, called No Straight Roads. It's a really fast-paced production, and the game is going to be out next year spring. That is around between April to June. So it's an action game, rhythm-based. You can check out our Facebook. Just search Metronomik on Facebook. Metronomik, Metronomik. K because it's a bit more Malay. And you can also search us on Twitter, and also we have a No Straight Roads Instagram as well. If you're an artist or you really like to get involved in game development or interested in it, we upload a lot of concept art, and from now on also we're going to upload some programming, tech demos and all that stuff. So please stay tuned for the game. Yeah.
So, Hazman?
What did you say?
Share something about Kitamen, maybe you can.
Okay, so for upcoming esports tournaments or activities, please follow our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/KITAMEN Kitamen. So I think we're gonna announce some tournaments coming up soon for October, November, December. So stay tuned.
Alright, thank you so much.
No, thank you so much.